Whiskey and White going all the way.
What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey and White Show with me, your host, Tommy Mac.
Me, your better host, Terry McKenna.
And we are brought to you in association with the #1 competitions page in the world, Our Kings Competitions. And also brought to you by the support of Dream Mentoring. Now, the man behind it is here today, Tom Smyth.
We're going to get into it.
We're going to get into it.
Dream mentorship entails.
Let's go.
It's for anyone. It's for hospitality, for sports people, for people in business. It can be all walks of life, even if you just want to better yourself.
Yeah, just to level up.
Winners win.
As Tom says. And you know, I just want to shout out quickly, Supreme Being for somewhere with the threads, garments.
Threads, but I'm not wearing
Look at this. Unbelievable. Supreme Being for a Supreme Being like myself. You know? And if you want to get a kebab, make sure you hit Nando's on the Finnegy,
Mooney
Garage. Yeah.
But
So anyway, we're here with Mr. Dream himself, Tom Smyth. You're one of the first guests we ever had on the show.
What's going on,
And,
guys?
it's been a while.
The
last time you were on the show, I don't even think we
didn't have nothing. It was just a wee
It was a wee
room with a
table.
black curtain behind.
Yeah,
But,
for me, it's about showing respect, especially fellow people in Belfast.
Yeah.
Growing up and us all moving forward, and yous are on the up, and I'm delighted to be here with you today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for the support as well. So we'll start off a wee bit about Dream Mentoring. So we've been like trying to sell it on the podcast, but Tyrone is a past pupil. You're the creator of it. What can people expect if they get into the mentor program?
You know, mentoring for me is about waking up the genius inside somebody's head, because they already have it, but it's about unlocking it. You know, it's teaching people to become emotionally tough, you know, rising huge levels of accountability, living your life different. You know, your routine, the morning routines that you set become the winning day, the winning week, the winning month, the winning year. And it's showing people about life's all about structure. You know, in the mornings, I get up now at 3:45, sometimes 3:30.
So people don't believe it, but I was in the mentorship. And I get text from him at that time, but a phone call at 4 a.m.
Yeah, you know, so the next thing, I write my goals, I do my journal, mantra, gratitude, I write for 90 minutes.
How long have you been doing them goals and like writing them?
I've been writing successfully for 10 years solid.
Yeah.
So it's no coincidence that, you know, my writing's on point, my consistency's on point, I'm sober too, all of it is in line with each other.
90 minutes every morning?
90 minutes.
To say you have a goal that you haven't reached yet, do you just write the same thing every morning till you reach it?
You know, you don't write a goal once and expect it to happen. So you write the goals in the pretense that they're already yours. And this is the bit I want anybody to get that's listening to this. Write it like you own it. Write it as if it's yours. But then the difference is to feel it like it's yours. Feel that goal is yours. Feel that you've already knocked somebody out in a fight, or, you know, you've got the business deal. How does that version of you feel? And a sentence that really helped me is play the movie in your head of the version of you who's achieved that goal. How does he walk? How does she talk? You know, what's his bank account like? What's her bank account like? Because it's about writing it, totally believing it, not that it's coming, that it's here. Believe that it's here, but then feeling it. Feeling that excited, that grateful.
And does writing it down make you feel it more?
Of course.
I remember specifics. You always want the specific.
Like,
I want loads of money.
If I'm writing my goals in the morning, as you're writing with a pen, new ideas come into your head for the goal that you're writing. So then the next thing, you become the architect of your own life. And writing these goals every day keeps you accountable that you're actually going after those goals. So if either one of you said to me, what are you doing over the next week, 6 months or 3 years? Have you got an hour? Because I can tell you exactly what I'm doing. Down to the country, the money, who I'm helping, what deals I'm closing, what building I'm getting involved in, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I have huge structure. Then I'll train for 90 minutes. And then I'm always working on me. So, but the mentoring program has been set up to take people not just the next level, but to 10x it, to do 10 times more, to do 100 times more, or 1,000 times more. Because there is no limits to where we can take this. There's none.
Did you have a mentor? when you were getting started?
Yeah, like I've been taking advice from Grant Cardone for the last 5 years. I also work with an amazing lady in America called Nancy, whose IQ is higher than Einstein.
Serious?
Yeah, and she teaches me emotional behaviors and what to watch for in the boardroom when people are moving and talking, and you know when you could win for the close. So I believe all of us are work in progress, and I believe every day is a school day. So I'm constantly working on myself, so then I can work on my clients and make them even better.
Yeah.
You know.
So is that your main focus on business now? Is the mentoring program?
Well, yeah. So it's one of them. I also own an international furniture business.
Do you?
Yeah. My business partner Farhan started the company Manor Interiors 13 years ago. And we manufacture, supply, and install furniture globally. Now, when I say supply furniture, I'm talking we're doing 500 apartments in Miami. We're doing 6,800 homes in Orlando over 3 years. We're working for the Viceroy. We're working for some of the biggest hotel groups. We're doing the Trump Hotel in Sunny Isles.
you?
Like, we're on it.
Yeah, this is
Crazy.
big
But
time.
we're,
This
we're,
isn't
we're
like
huge in the UK. We've got offices in the UK in Manchester. We're in Dubai and we're in Miami.
you want to get one down a Boucher Road as well.
Well, who knows? But because we manufacture, we supply and install furniture for property developers.
Yeah.
So when an apartment block's finished, our team goes in, furnishes the lot, and then we're away. But we do it on huge scale. You know.
See the Dream Mentorship. What would the success rate be? Would there be people that would go to you and they wouldn't be able to keep up, or they wouldn't be
I
able to?
haven't had anybody not keep up, you know, who's committed to this. It's just, like you guys know, how do you win a boxing fight? You need to be
Dedication.
completely committed to the cause of winning.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like anything. If you're fully committed to our mentoring program, it speaks for itself. You know, we've had UFC fighters, we've had amazing boxers, we've had some of the best business people in the UK, Ireland, and America now.
How long is the course run for?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, twice a week live on Zoom with me. Monday night is a coaching session, which I actually write the session on the same day. So it's raw, it's live, and it's, you know, it's something that's resonated with me that I believe my clients need. And I deliver that on a Monday night live at 8 o'clock. And then a Thursday night is a Q&A where all our clients get an opportunity to come and say, well, look, I might have anxiety, or how do you get money in your business? And I do a troubleshooting Q&A for 60 minutes. Then with a WhatsApp community that I start in the mornings, usually between 3:30 and 3:45. And it's just beautiful to see a group of people who all want to see each other win instead of watch each other burn like normal life.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
Is there-
it's
is
very
there-
rewarding.
Is there any significance to the 3:30 wake up, or is it just the way you are?
You know, I was the 5 a.m. guy until I wasn't. And then I thought 4 a.m. would change my life. And it did during COVID. I just started being 4 o'clock. And then some clients started being as consistent as me. And I went, I can't have this. I have to win. So I'm either 3:45, 3:30. The odd time 3:15 if I have to work in England.
Yeah.
It's not something I really want to do. But early morning starts is a game changer. You know, within 5 minutes, freezing cold shower, triple espresso coffee,
You're good to go.
I'm ready to go.
What time do you go to bed at?
I don't sleep anymore. I'll give it
Do
up.
you?
Give it up.
24/7.
No, I go to bed about 10, half 10, at the very latest 11. But
This
yeah,
kind of
I've
thing
got to the
online,
point where I physically and mentally don't need much sleep.
Yeah.
And people would say it's not good for your health and stuff. I get
That's
my
what I've
health.
seen the thing. It said
Some people.
it's a myth that you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. All you need is a couple hours of quality sleep.
Yeah, well,
and you're good to
I
go.
listen to white noise and go into a real deep sleep. Is that racist because it's white noise? No.
I hope not.
I listen to white noise
and then
and go into a real deep sleep,
the
and
first one
like it works for me brilliantly. I
Yeah.
feel great. I've loads of energy all of the time.
And in the gym every day, or
Yeah,
5
twice a
days,
day sometimes.
twice a day.
But here, it's not just mentorship. You do acting as well. You're just.
Oh yeah, he's on his big screen now.
Are you doing another
Yeah, but-
one?
Yeah, so I wrote a sentence in my mantra. So your mantra is your power. It's everything after I am. And I wrote in 2021, I am going to go from magazines to movie scenes. I'm here to do it.
How many times did you write that?
Probably wrote it solid for 2 years.
For 2 years?
I totally believed it. And then my friend Keith Bishop is Johnny Depp's PR manager. So I kept contacting Keith because it's all about continuous. And he says to me, look, I've organised it. Please stop calling me. I said, okay. So I met Terry Stone and had lunch with Terry. And at the end of it, just like I wrote in my goal, Terry says to me, look, I would like you to act in one of our movies. And I got my first part in Rise of the Foot Soldier.
What was it like? Was it good?
Yeah, like the amount of work that goes in, like you guys know because you've got your own editing team. The amount of work that goes in to make a movie is huge.
And
they're shooting hours and hours and hours of content for like a 5-10 minute clip.
Of the same content.
You, who is like all go. Did you find it boring, like the sitting about on set?
Yeah, but it was boring. But, but here's the funny bit. So we were standing outside the location.
Yeah.
And everybody was staring at us. I'm like, why everybody looking at us like we're scumbags? Because the location was a strip joint.
Was it?
Right? And we were standing outside it at 10 o'clock on a Friday.
These guys.
And everybody's probably going, who are them guys? You know, but it was really rewarding. I learned a lot from it. And very grateful to Terry Stone.
Did you find it tough doing the acting, or?
I wrote the goal, so I had to turn up and be that guy. And just before I done it, I felt a little touch of nerves, and my voice said to me, can you really do this? And I just parked that thought, stepped into the role and done it. And then I done that part in the movie, and then there was other parts of B content where we were all in it. It was very, very enjoyable. Like.
Yeah. Would you do another one?
I've been picked for another one.
Well, have you? When's
yeah, there's a new film called Tales of the Trap, which is going to be like Top Boy. And I've got my own scene and stuff in the movie.
Brilliant.
Powerful.
Yeah, and it's got some of the it's got some of the actors, you know, some of the rappers and stuff who are famous in London
UK,
are all going to be in the movie.
Powerful.
Can you get one apart for the live? We could be your henchman.
Who knows? Who knows?
The bodyguards.
I'm gonna get Mary mantras out the net.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
I don't know.
Get the mantras.
I think it's a gun scene.
Is it?
And we're all going to be trained up by the SBS or something before the film. Yeah.
And is the Dream Apartments today still going? Or
Still going strong, yeah.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
And see your furnishing company? Are you furnishing your own apartments or?
Yeah, so how it came about, during COVID, I decided to continue to expand and everybody thought it was nuts. So I opened 120 apartments in Liverpool and 120 in Manchester in January 2021, right in the middle of a grade 5 lockdown.
Yeah.
But I needed to get furniture. So I met this amazing Muslim guy called Farhan Malik. And he says to me, bro, why are you buying so much furniture in the middle of a global pandemic? And I says, I'm going to make this work. And he just thought, like, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
And within about 12 weeks, we were fully booked in England. Yeah, because we were going after essential industries. I give some apartments away free to the National Health for nurses who couldn't afford to be isolated. I had to give away something free just to make it feel okay with myself that I was helping. But yeah, we got essential industries. We got all the contractors. And when everybody had their head down, some people were sleeping and some people were furloughed. I was working. Farhan and me became very, very close. And like, I'm proud to call him my brother. Like, me and him are so, so close. I love the guy with all my heart. And now we're international. We're killing it in Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Northern Cyprus, America. We've started in the state of Florida. We're dominating Miami already. And
have you opened Dream Apartments over in America?
No, sorry, the furniture.
Furniture, but are you thinking about?
Who knows?
Who knows? No.
If the opportunity comes up, I'm in.
Well, Tom, you're the first Protestant guy I've seen run about with rosary beads.
So yes.
I know, but bro, somebody said that to me on Instagram. You see, I don't see them as rosary beads. I see it as a mark of Christ.
Yeah.
You know, and I've no problem getting into a Catholic church and praying. It's God.
Yeah,
it's
all the
one
same
God.
Yep.
You know, unfortunately, we had a war in this country where religion was a division. Now we've got amazing community leaders that brought us conflict resolution. And the kids all growing up now don't really understand what it was like growing up during the Troubles. And that's a blessing of God himself. But if somebody wants to call me out for having rosary beads or walking into a chapel or a church or either way, I don't care. Why would I? Because all I'm going in to do is pray.
Yeah.
For me,
It's for yourself.
God's not blue or green. It's God.
Yeah.
Are you born again? like baptized and all? Or
I'm like on my own spiritual journey where I pray constantly. I
yeah.
wake up in the morning and pray, dedicate my day to God. At night, I'm always on my knees at the side of the bed praying. I wouldn't pray lying down. I have to be on my knees. And through a whole life of fighting to win and be successful, I now surrender everything to God.
Mm.
And instead of all the fighting, it's surrender. And I'm not a guy that would normally use that word, but it's surrendering things to Christ.
I thought that was one of your favorite words, Tom. No surrender.
Yeah, but you know
Well,
that's Northern Ireland,
yeah.
isn't it? But you
But
know,
no,
it's
yeah.
a massive thing for me, and I wouldn't break my faith for
And
anybody.
have you been a very like deep in your faith, like from you went into recovery, or has it been always growing
Yeah,
up?
well, they say in the 12-step program that you have a spiritual awakening,
Mm.
and I've definitely had a spiritual awakening in the last 3 years where I understand what life is genuinely all about. You know, it's about making amends with people. It's about being so grateful to amazing people. Like, you are my friends. I don't take it for granted that I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You know, make amends, you know, do the right thing, hand it over to God. There is a better, cleaner way to live.
Do you ever in business stop doing business with people if they aren't treating, like they aren't nicely, they aren't nice to people
Yeah,
around
like
them?
I'll never give somebody permission to treat me badly.
Yeah.
No chance.
Have you ended business with people?
Of course. Yeah. Because I also believe it's about self-protection, that you don't want to get yourself in a situation where you're going to get angry or frustrated with a client or a person because of their bad behaviour. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier for me to say, look, I think we're done here. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get in the business? Like I see it online. I forget what the guy's name is, but he went to. I think he's a multi-millionaire, but he went to America, and they took all his money away, and he went from a tenner to 2 million in like 2 weeks. Is that actually possible?
Was
or
that
is that
Grant Cardone that time?
it
that
wasn't
took-
Grant
No,
Cardone, it was
okay.
an English guy.
Oh, an English guy, okay.
But I think Grant Cardone's done
done it
some
too.
rings. But is that just all just for online content, or is that actually
who
possible?
knows? TV's
Do you think
TV.
you could do it?
I think if you drop me in the right place anywhere in the world, or not even the right place, a place with a mobile phone, no contacts on it, and this head, I'll make
You'd
it
make
happen.
it?
100%.
Love it. If you could mentor one person in the world, who would it be?
That's a great question.
And that's a
huh?
good question, isn't it?
If you could mentor one person in the world, who would it be? Maybe the former version of me.
Okay.
So I didn't drink.
Do you think you
I
could?
didn't make all the mistakes that I made.
But sure, you wouldn't be who you are now. If that
Oh,
didn't
you're right.
happen.
Yeah, because the mistakes made me who I am, and I don't believe they're mistakes. So they're the
lessons.
your mistakes, your failures are the foundations of the rest of your life. It'd be like you not ducking in time and getting a left hook to the head.
Yeah.
You very quickly stop
Yeah.
walking in that left hook, don't you?
Yeah.
Who would I pick? That's probably one of the best questions, if I've been honest.
It is good. It's
I'll
tough.
come back to you.
Yeah.
Right,
Think
right.
about it.
Who is the hardest person you've ever had to deal with?
Who's the hardest person?
Yeah.
I suppose it's confidential. I coached somebody who was.
Don't say name. I just say.
Oh, don't worry, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Quite iconic, bit of a superstar.
Yeah.
It was a guy,
Mm,
completely uncoachable.
really?
Yeah. Would not take the advice. Would argue back instead of applying anything.
Well,
And I really liked the person, and I just said, look, I think we're at our stage here where this isn't going to work for you or me. Plus, I really like you. I think we're just going to cut this.
was he reason?
He sent me a really nice letter about 2 weeks after,
Okay.
thanking me for being the way I was. So
Do you get people? Do you get much people like that trying to give you pushback, or is everyone kind of just?
no, 99.9% of people are coachable. But like I remember I had an ex-business partner years ago called Billy, who would have argued with you guys in your media team on how to do a podcast, or he would have argued with the brain surgeon. Is this the right procedure you're doing here?
Yeah.
Some people are uncoachable. They
Yeah.
are.
Are you still doing the Ace Boss? Because I remember you had to be out in Bangor at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I don't know what time in the morning was. We went out
In the sea.
in the sea. Fucking freezing.
Yeah, I've got an
You still
infrared
do it?
sauna now too. So
Oh, do you?
I would definitely whack it after a gym session.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. I love it.
What was it like coaching Tyrone? Was he coachable, or
He was, of course.
I'm coachable. I
That's
am.
why he's a winner.
and
Exactly.
how did you find working with him? Did you see any potential? a
Yeah,
real like
huge
a sketch.
potential, but
Just to,
you know, he has a busy career as a fighter too. It's somebody
fair.
having the time to implement it. You know, it's for me. Everybody has time to implement it. If I
yeah,
can get up at 3:30, 3:45, you can make time and see if it's important to you. It's a no-brainer.
yeah,
Like me, you know, for me in the morning, doing my journaling, going to the gym, putting work into myself, going after property deals, putting on every email I send to people now. I'm available 24/7. I mean it
See what
because I want it.
yeah.
what I found with doing his mentorship. See, getting up that early, you actually do get a lot of shit. It's like
Of
having
course.
3 days in one day. Because it's
Yeah.
that fuck.
The day's longer.
I'd have done all sorts, and then I looked at my time. It was 11:30 in the morning. I'd be like, "What the fuck? Having our 7, 8 hours of fucking doing everything." You
Yeah.
do like getting up early is a key thing, and then as you say, doing it every day consistently.
I work 3 time zones, but two. So my business partner Farhan lives in Dubai, so he's either 3 or 4 hours ahead of me, depending on what time of the year. And then I work the American time zone. They're 5 hours behind in Miami and New York. So I'm on it all of the time. You know, and
Yeah, so you need to be,
the
yeah.
early morning really helps because after I've journaled, I can be on a 20-minute call with Farhan and we're caught up. And then it also helps when I'm working all day the UK time zone, and then I'm starting to message people in Miami as they wake. So you're in
Yeah,
control, but it's only
yeah.
through the early mornings.
So see in the morning, like when you're doing a journaling in the matches, no, how long does that take for the pass? Because
But
the last time you were here, that's probably about going on maybe close to 3 years. Isn't it about 3 years since we started this? And then I started doing my wee matches in the morning and being specific. I specifically want 8 million. I'd take more if it was coming, like, but I want 8 million, no less. Been reading it, still hasn't came through.
but are you actually taking the action to get
I
it?
know.
Well, I'm trying, like,
But trans land. So are you taking the action or not?
I'm buying my ticket
You're
for
not.
every
So you're
week.
not.
But what is the action?
But you know,
I'm
well,
trying
are
to get the
you?
gigs. Well, I'm not
Yeah,
trying. I am
but
getting
hold
the
on.
gigs.
Are you getting on a flight to go to America for somebody to love this cool black Irish guy to put yourself out there and somebody sends you for a 12-month contract? Or are you keeping your ass in Belfast?
Yeah.
See, to be
Well,
honest,
then I'm not doing the action.
we
you're
we
not.
we've
You know-
said we want to. Our boxing careers kind of dwindling
Well,
now.
I've
He's
retired
retired.
officially.
So we've said this
I'm
is
going full time with it.
our
I was
pod.
going to knock you out too.
I got it just in time.
But this podcast is our baby now, and we said we're going to really like boost
Bring
it,
it up,
bring
yeah.
it up.
Yeah,
and
but think
we
about
we
it.
haven't done the action that we're
Yeah,
shooting
think
to do.
about this. So Farhan and me went to America in August. We hustled like our life depended on it. We've been there in September, October, November, December. Every single month we have been there until we've got to the point now where everybody knows who we are. My whole point is the big money, the big paychecks, and the right connections for yourself is in America.
Mm.
But you've got this £8 million goal, but your actions aren't backing up
Yeah.
you actually getting it. So you should be going to the comedy scene in New York, the comedy scene in Miami,
Yeah.
hitting
Like the
it in
thing-
LA, and somebody could just like you, and you're like, there it is.
Yeah, you're right, Tom. I was looking at it too, but gone over it and
What's
Is
that
that-
you're sitting in? Is that a comfort zone you're sitting in?
that's a turn all his tags about the
What is
comfort
that,
zone.
bro?
I call him once Mr. Comfort
What
Zone.
is that, bud?
It's wild, isn't it?
Uh,
Right, here's another question. Have you or anyone you've mentored lied about how successful they've been?
Well, I haven't. So, if anybody has it, I've mentored. I wouldn't know
You
about
wouldn't
it.
know. No.
I wouldn't know
Does
about it.
anyone lie during a mentorship and say, I've done that, but they haven't put in the work? Do you think?
Well, you know what I would say to that? You see the clients that are really putting the work in and their consistency, and some clients that aren't, because there's people that are really performing because they're following the routine right to the letter. They're writing their goals. They're going to the gym. They're changing their ways. They're changing their thinking. I just think it's like going to recovery. The only person you're allowed to is yourself.
Yeah.
If you're really serious about personal self-development and dream mentoring, you apply yourself.
See, to be honest, you've mentored a guy that was on this podcast, Kevin Finnegan, Cavi 4X.
Yeah, I like
you
we
know.
can very
He-
much. Yeah.
He took to the ground running with your mentorship and excelled in it. Like he's plastered himself everywhere. He's not embarrassed about nothing. He welcomes criticism. He does everything that your mentorship is about. and he's flying.
Yeah,
He's got gigs now.
Yeah, I think he's great, and it pisses me that people in this country give him a hard time.
But he doesn't give a fuck.
I know he doesn't, but you know, I'm
Which
all
you
about.
always said, if someone gives a shit, just say thank you. Say,
Yeah, I get
well
it.
done.
I get all that, but I just think sometimes this amazing country
him a break,
give somebody
yeah.
a pat in the back, maybe
Yeah.
instead of trying to destroy them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because haters means nothing to me.
Because we've knew.
But
I
I
think
just
it shows. It's good to have the haters because it shows that you're on the radar. If no one was
100%.
saying anything,
I just think I wish the majority of people would cut him a break because he deserves it.
Yeah.
He
Especially
really does.
We've known him years and years and years and years. Like, he's been one of our mates. And from him to be like a nobody to where he is now in what, 6 months?
Do you know what he's
months?
got that
Yeah.
most people don't? Emotional toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people don't have it. Somebody asked me at the start of the year, how do you really win in 2025? And I said, forget 2025. How do you win the rest of your life? Be emotionally tough. Get out of bed. Continue to work. You know, if you're being hated on, you just go straight past it. You get a punch in the face from life. You keep going. Emotional toughness is where it's at. And we
Yeah.
Kevin has it.
How do you deal with the hate? You do
don't
get some
even
hate.
see
I've noticed,
Wonder-
Tom, you haven't been putting yourself
Yeah,
out
as
there
much,
as
huh?
much recently. There was maybe about 2 years ago.
You're flat
You
out.
were on everything. You're seeing it all the time online, but there's not as much content. Is that because you don't
Is that-
need to now?
So is AJ, my social media guy, getting sacked there?
Well,
In what context? So then,
like, I used to say every day you were on, you were walking,
right? Okay.
or you were sitting, but you had like a quotable or something. You were hitting like what
A quote or something?
a
did you
quote
say?
every
Okay.
single day. Well, every other day I was saying every week, but I don't say it as much now.
Maybe it's just your algorithm.
Maybe it is.
It is.
Maybe it is because like we are putting out really good content, and
Don't worry, I see it, Tom.
even
I
when
see it all.
even when I'm working different time zones. But if you're telling me that, I'll just do 10 times more now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I
I
felt
will.
like.
I'll 10 axes.
Because there was a time, even like when you first came on the podcast, you were like a social media star. I think I introduced you to social media star because you were all the time, every day you were there, inspirational stuff. Some people were hating, obviously, but I don't say it as often.
Well, get back
I
in
know, I
the
need to get back in the
algorithm.
algorithm.
I'm gonna whack the shit out of
But
Does it, see, doing all them self-promotion stuff, do you pick one day and just put out as much or video as much as possible, or do you do it just
No,
every day,
like,
a wee
yeah,
bit at a time?
If it has to fit in for my business schedule.
Mm.
You know, in the mornings when I'm doing my journaling or when I'm doing my fitness, my cardio
Mm.
and stuff, I'll be thinking about content and I'll come up with a couple of sentences or something that I know might be accepted or embraced by somebody that it might help them. So then I'll make a video where I really round that content and I'll jump off the stair climber and send myself, I WhatsApp myself a text message and I start having all these ideas. I
Yeah.
get back on the machine. Sometimes I'll get off 10 times in an hour and WhatsApp myself
Yeah.
and I come up with all these different ideas for content.
Mm.
Then I'll fit that in. Like when I was in America doing furniture meetings, I hired a videographer and she worked with me. And as I was doing deals, she was videoing me. So it has to work for me.
yeah.
I don't take days off and do like a media day or something like that. I'm just on it.
Do you think social media is a big thing for businesses nowadays?
It's everything.
It's everything.
Because if you look at it, it is the most amazing platform that's ever been created to push a business.
Yep.
And of course, there's haters, douchebags, and little keyboard warriors wanting to write nonsense. It says more about them. And even when you look at it, I also respect them because they have an opinion, and you have to respect that opinion. Right now, you've just given me an opinion that you're not seeing enough. We'll 10x the shit out of it.
Yeah.
But a business has an opportunity to put themselves on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, even Tinder. You know, that was a joke, but you know,
I was going to say her because she's
but
on Tinder.
realistically, you have all these platforms that showcase yourself, your brand, or your company for free.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not be
Why would
doing
you
that?
not- yeah, use it.
That's why we opened Dream Social. So we own a social media business now.
Do you?
What do you?
It's part of the Dream Mentor, and we run people's paid ads, we build websites, and we run all their social media
Do you,
accounts.
do you have a course where you can learn to do that? Like learn to do your own socials?
We don't, but it might be the new
a
course
good
if you're
idea.
50% on that. That's your
I think
idea.
that'd be great. Because there's a lot of people that want to be social in it, or on the social media and stuff, and they don't know a way to start. They don't know how to operate, and it's just a bit of guidance, and they'll
Yeah.
be flying.
So
Or
go
keep-
ahead. That's 25% now because we're going 50-50. Tell me, Tom, say you had private jet that you're always on.
Yeah.
Is that yours or do you just rent
No,
it?
you know, and that's the bit. Some people put on that's not even his. He's rented. He's rented it and
But
all.
there's nothing wrong with renting it.
I know, but it's not about. You see all these mad comments, and it's hilarious. You've rented that for the day just to sit on the tarmac. That's impossible. So
when
you can't.
someone who was on here before, he had to do it. And Randy Malone said, but he done that on purpose.
Oh,
to
yeah.
get people to send him hateful
like,
messages. I didn't even know you
I
could
have
do
not
it.
bought a jet. I charter jets.
Right.
I would not spend $30 million on a plane when I could fucking rent it.
Yeah.
Why would I waste my money? It's not even yours. Yeah, you're right.
Obviously.
Ask your mama. But, you know, I rent it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's times I use jets and don't put it on social media.
Do you prefer to go on a private jet instead of going on EasyJet?
It's not about preferring.
I think you would, yeah. I think everyone would.
No,
But
listen.
it's cheaper.
But to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's EasyJet, Aer Lingus, Emirates, whatever. But
But like
There
on
is-
first
there-
class, is it better to go on your own
of
plane?
course. And there's
You
times,
pick your own time.
there's times and
Is it?
situations.
Right.
Let me know when you want me to talk.
Sorry. Go.
There's times and situations like going on a family holiday, hiring a private jet makes sense.
Yeah.
There might be time where during COVID, I rented them quite a bit because you couldn't fly. And I was using ferries all the time to go back and forth in the stand. And sometimes you were nearly mentally broken and exhausted. And jumping on a plane made commercial sense. Coming back in the same day or whatever, it made especially COVID travel.
Yeah.
And then there's times, you know, somebody might just say to me, look, we've got a private jet company, we would like to do you a deal on it. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, the answer is yes, I'll take it at that price. So, you know, the thing is too, I seen the guy inside my head, the version of me that flew in private jets before I ever flew in them. And now I've just became him. And I am so grateful that I have access to them and I can afford to do it. I'm just a guy from the street.
Do you see us on them?
Of course. Why not?
100%.
Why not?
I went on.
See your life being so like there's Dubai time, there's American time, there's UK time. Do you ever like it gets too much? There's too much. You're burning out.
Now, I've got different capabilities inside where I stop and do a reset, which it allows me to do more. So
Okay.
instead of feeling overwhelmed, and I would teach that to clients too, I would do a thing called billionaire flow where you do an actual reset. You slow down to do more.
Okay.
And what it normally is like right now, I could stop it. You go into the present moment and you slow your whole head down, reset for about 5 to 15 minutes, and then you go back and you can give 100% again.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to work and your head's like a washing machine, and then you're getting to the point where you feel overwhelmed.
Do you
That
have
also
any days
doesn't-
off?
That whole overwhelming thing doesn't work for me being sober too. I need to be making sure that I've got myself on point.
Yeah.
Do you have any days off? Like, do you have like a Sunday?
Yeah,
I'm
like
not doing any work at all.
come 5 o'clock on a Friday, I try and be
Yeah.
a dad, a husband, and a granda. You know, so and people would say, "What's your work-life balance like?" Yeah, mine's not great at the minute.
Because you're just
It
going
does
for it.
affect
Yeah.
being married. It does
Yeah.
affect not seeing my kids. It does affect not seeing my granddaughter. But I'm in this to do it for them, to give my wife and kids financial freedom,
Yeah.
and to build a life beyond their wildest dreams, and let my little granddaughter grow up and having that security too. I'm doing it for them,
Yeah.
not doing it for me. There's days when you do a 20-hour day and you feel like in America, I'll do a 24-hour day. When I go there, I usually stay up, so I go into the American time zone and then go to sleep because it beats jet lag. I'm not really wanting to do a 24-hour day.
Yeah, but just
It is what
needs
it
us.
is.
Right, here's another question. What is the number one key to growing your business?
Getting behind it and pushing it, and no matter what you hit, you never give up. And you know, definitely do not listen to the opinion of fools. You only want to be listening to the opinion of people who have done it 10 times or 100 times better than you.
Yeah.
I just feel, especially speaking to two fighters, the art of winning is if you never give up, you cannot lose.
Mm.
So don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Just keep
Don't give
keep
up
going.
because
Yep.
the success you want is sitting over here. You might have to go through road bumps up and down mountains, but you have to go through all that adversity to end up here. And it's here waiting. It just depends how
Just
bad you
how
want
bad
it.
you
That
want it.
reminds me of a wee meme, you know, the two guys are tunneling
Yeah,
for
yeah,
diamonds,
100%.
and one just gives up right before he gets it.
Yeah.
And is there I've read this, all businessmen, all successful businessmen go bankrupt at some point. Is that true?
Well, in America, it's not something to be embarrassed of. I think in the UK and Ireland, it has the wrong reputation.
Yeah.
And some people do hit the wall. Yeah, 100%.
Have you ever done it during your career?
I've hit the wall on a couple of occasions. Yeah, of
And
course.
just built back?
What is bankrupt mean? Like, what's
It
what?
depends.
No, what is actually bankrupt?
It depends what stage somebody's asking it in. You know, is it personal? Is it business? You know,
Mm.
do you think people like Donald Trump or Grant Cardone haven't hit the brick wall and closed down a business and went again? Fucking hell, of course.
Yeah.
Failure is part of the process. How did you become good fighters? Taking digs in the face
Yeah.
until you learned from it, and then you started bobbing and weaving more. Failure is part of the process.
Yeah.
So I've failed my way to get to the point where I'm at.
Mm.
What was your first business venture that you ever done that was,
I worked in a fish and chip shop from I was 10 years old, and I peeled the potatoes.
yeah.
I hate potatoes.
Then,
That's one of my
then
worst
at the
things.
age of 15, 16, I started becoming a roofer.
So that your first thing was roofing. And then what was your first like £1 million business?
I probably made my first mill out of property.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably it did.
Buying and selling, or
Yeah, and values going up, and the next thing sometimes you're like, wow,
yeah,
because I had quite a lot, and it all went up at the same time.
I've seen make a fortune.
Did you save up to get a deposit for a
Yeah,
first house,
you know,
or did you
in
get a loan
1990
and then
in 1993, I was looking at property brochures for about 6 months in the pub, and all the lads were laughing at me. 94 started zoning in on where I was going to buy, and then our amazing country in 1994 found peace, and both sides of the community put the guns down, and the house that I bought during peace quadrupled in value over the space of about 15 months.
That's great.
Yeah, and everybody was saying you're lucky. Luck is when hard work meets opportunity.
Yeah.
I wasn't lucky. I was just ahead of the game.
yeah.
What inspired you to go out and be an entrepreneur and do all this? Like, was it just a hard graft? You're just a grafter?
I just, you know, I've got this uncontrollable desire to push. Wake up with it.
Where's it
It's
from? But just
definitely ADHD's maybe fired in there too. You know, seriously, but
Yeah. So Toronto's
I have
ring
so
diagonals.
much energy all of the time. I'm
Yeah.
ready to go, and I can switch off and go to bed like that.
yeah.
I suppose growing up, and my mum and dad are still alive, amazing parents. We didn't believe in debt, and my mates sometimes would have had like the best trainees and tracksuits out of all the different catalogs, K's and all that malarkey. And at the age of 10, I thought, well, I want to start having a choice myself. There was times I would have looked at the 50 quid in a little jar going, that's my money box, and I put it there. And there's times I would have bought myself my own tracksuit, and definitely at the age of 10, that fire was lit inside me. I'm 51 now, and I feel I'm only warming up.
Were you a good student? Were you good in school?
Nah,
No.
no,
So you don't believe in need
no.
education?
Academics, yeah.
Yeah,
No, I couldn't bond to the curriculum. I had no interest. I said to my daughter last night, my physics teacher, I think, said about 3 months in, see for the rest of 2 years, sit and look out that window. Because I was probably like the class monkey.
What
That's
school
the way
did
it
you go
was.
to?
Glengormley High.
Glengormley. Is that like known for good academic students, or
I
is
believe
it
it
just a
is.
mad
It
school?
probably was then too, but I wasn't one of them. yeah.
Were you in much fights in school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were the best fighter in your year.
No. Definitely one of the craziest.
Let's get one last question here. Right? How long did it take to build your businesses?
Yeah, it depends what one. I believe it takes 5 years to build a good rock steady
5.
business, you know. And we live in a world now with all this Instagram and stuff, and people see all these overnight successes. I don't believe it. You know, like even our furniture business has become a huge success in America within 9-10 months, but it was 13 years old before I got involved.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to have the systems, you have to have made the mistakes, and it's all part of it. I totally believe it takes a good solid 5 years to make something that's bulletproof.
What do you think is the best businesses to get into if you haven't got the bankroll to go into big businesses? What do you think's a good?
Well, e-commerce could be brilliant, you know, and being the middleman's the best person where you could have the product, you know, it could be sunglasses and you could have the client, and it's just about finding the e-commerce part in the middle where it just starts pinging. You know,
What is e-commerce?
selling stuff online,
It's like,
you know.
Yeah,
But
like
being usually, like, I like doing a deal where somebody has something, somebody needs it, and I'm just like, I've got that.
It's just quick,
Bang, done.
quick money.
Alan Sugar says it's the ultimate businessman, the middle guy.
What do you think is the best? Like, is it sports people or business people for your mentorship? What would your mentorship? Who would benefit from your membership the most?
Everybody does. From amazing UFC stars like Molly McCann, the incredible property.
Does it change if depending on what, like, if you're into sport, if you're into business, if you're
It just depends on the person.
okay.
You know, are they coachable? What do they need? Are they in a vulnerable position? Is it emotional? Is it business advice? Because our course is a business and personal development course. It works for both.
Yeah.
And I just love to see male and female entrepreneurs shine.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of people in Northern Ireland opening up to it, to realise it's okay to ask for help, because it is. So many people in the South would join our course like that because their mentality's slightly more forward when it comes to personal development. So I would love to see the people in our own country warm to it more and go, I do need a coach. It's okay to ask for help.
Does anyone went and opened their own membership after doing your course? Or how would you feel about it if they did?
Probably...
Is that copyright infringement?
No. Probably honoured that they've maybe been blessed enough to think that they've got enough from mine to be able to coach somebody else. But
has it happened? No.
Nobody's thought. Because you know what people don't get? You've had to have grown up a certain way and made a load of different mistakes. You've had to open the business, close the business. You've had to feel what pressure feels like when you lose 6 million in 2 weeks during COVID before you can start coaching people. Because if you haven't, you know, slapped it, lived it, been it, how do you coach it? You can't, like, I can't read a book and become a boxer.
And there is a lot of people that do it.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of people that would talk about giving life-changing advice to people who have not lived it. And I would say that probably bothers me because I feel people are being coached incorrectly and have no clue on what they're talking, based on why you give me that advice.
Yeah.
You know, whereas I'm working 3 time zones. I'm living this. I live it. So I can really coach it.
And I think you trust someone who has lived it. You trust what they're saying more than someone who has read it in a book or...
Oh, yeah. Like, you know, I know I'm jumping on the boxing here, but I know you two are jokers, but I know if I get in the ring to be coached by the two of you would coach me properly instead of hurting me or whatever. Because I've seen some boxing coaches, you know, sometimes hit people a bit and the coaching's all wrong, you know.
Boxing's a free-for-all.
It has to be right. You have to find an emotional connection where somebody feels that they're going to open up to you. And one thing I also do in my mentoring is I make sure my clients have my number, where I also see so many coaches where their number's unavailable and they're up on this hierarchy. Whereas I feel your clients are your kings and your queens that are on this. And sometimes one little message to somebody could be the thing that changes their day, makes their day. Or I've even had a client come to me who was close to suicide, whose now his business is booming. And that for me is where it's really at, when you know you've made such a difference in somebody's life.
It must feel good seeing the businesses thrive.
Yeah, just covering goose pimples there. Like there's nothing quite like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay doing multi-million-dollar deals in America and things. I'm so grateful for it. But see, when another man or woman messages you and tells you how much you're helping them, it's
great.
I believe it's a blessing from God. I do.
Yeah.
See, just I was saying about you used to be on I used to see you more often, but still every Friday, do you ever get the send us? I know Friday apart. Do people send you?
Yeah, and
like, I look forward to it every week. Someone sending me.
I didn't know that went viral.
It's fucking
like
huge.
I had
still viral.
I had no idea, none. Until
well, how did it feel when you woke up and you seen you were viral? Because
I didn't know it went viral. like I think it might have been going on for a year because I might be all over socials,
But
but
you're not on it.
I'm not on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So you wouldn't even see yourself.
no, I'm not on. I'm all over all platforms, but I'm not on
Yeah.
going what's going on here.
Fuck. Well,
What would you say is you've went viral a few times. What do you think's your biggest viral hit or your favorite viral hit of yourself?
I don't know. I take social media with a pinch of salt.
Yeah,
I'm somebody
you
who
have
grew
to,
up.
yeah.
I grew up without it. So, to me, I continue to see it as an amazing platform where you can express, help others, and build a business. If I've went viral on something, I'm 51 years old. I have a bit of a giggle at that.
Yeah.
And I'm also grateful for it.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm not, oh my goodness, I've just went
Oh,
viral.
well, do
What?
you have one that you enjoyed?
What's
Freddie-
your
what's
favorite one?
yours?
Go ahead.
Rip and Friday apart. I love it. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
But there's a couple. There's another one.
What about Paddy? Paddy done a cracker. So I'm on the phone, right? I didn't realize it was so funny. So my phone started pinging. Paddy the body. Sorry, Paddy the dagger.
We done
Yeah.
it.
Paddy tag. So I'm on this. I'm in my car doing this motivational thing, and then the next thing it stops and Paddy says, "Fuck's sake, Tom! I just wanted you to move your car, mate." And then what happened next? I called Paddy and said, "Mate, I've seen that. It's amazing." And Paddy joined our mentor program.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good,
Paddy would be
Because
like,
people were saying to me, like, "What are you going to do about that?" I'm like, "Man, that guy's a legend.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's the fucking best."
It was funny
No.
as well.
Yeah,
It was
but
very
like,
funny.
how funny is it? He
It's
just
brilliant.
nailed it.
And
Yeah.
like Paddy is somewhat of a mentor for me in comedy.
Oh
And
man,
like
I
what you're
love him
saying, he
dearly.
lives
like.
it and he walks it and he
Mm.
breathes it.
Yeah.
So he gives me advice and helps me. So it's good.
But how great is it to see somebody from our city
Yeah.
killing it?
Oh,
It is. I love it.
He is
SSC.
amazing.
I hate the people in our city that hate people doing well. There's a lot of them out there,
Says
but I'm
more
one of
about them.
I'm one of the people I love seeing people from Belfast doing well. I
Me
love it.
too. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
So,
Why would you?
But-
Why would you not?
Exactly.
But
No.
Before,
Because
before,
usually what it is somebody's projecting their own failures onto
On to
you,
someone else.
want to hold you back because you're doing well, and it
Yeah.
says more about them.
yeah,
100%.
before we wrap it up, you have to go back to that question.
Yeah, who would I mentor?
Who's the?
That is the fucking ultimate
Yeah.
question. Isn't it? Who would I mentor? That is the one, isn't it? That has
It's
got
too
me.
hard. Too hard of a question.
No, it's not too hard. It's expansive, and I want to answer it correctly too.
Mm. Take your time, and we're gonna add
Mm.
the silence.
Have
out.
you got anyone who you look at and say,
He needs it.
yeah, he could do with a bit of mentorship?
Again, this one's got me.
Yeah.
It's hard in the spot.
You know,
just
if
the thing.
I had to really pick and where my heart's taking me, probably my granddaughter Nova.
Mm.
How
Just-
old is she?
She's turning 2 this in July,
St.
and
Thomas.
see just the thought of being able to give her
Yeah.
decades of advice of what not to, not to do.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, that
Would you
that would
have your
prob-
own kids?
She would be more important to me because I am coaching my youngest daughter Farah. I
Oh, yeah,
am
yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
my eldest daughter who's a master's in international law. My 18-year-old has head girl in school. She's finishing her A levels. She's going to uni to do a degree. She
It's
wants
working
to
for
she-
them,
You're
man,
doing
as
a
well.
good job.
It's working for them. The
Yeah, she's
mentorship.
going to open multiple businesses. So, like, if I had to pick, it would definitely be a
From
nucleus
Ramsey,
of all
yeah.
three,
Mm.
or my little granddaughter. Because
Yeah.
Farah does take advice from me and applies it. So does my eldest daughter.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
And
it
they're
works.
thriving. They're
Nova,
thriving.
my granddaughter, means more to me than any sports star, actor, business
Mm.
person.
See, now that you've
If I can
became
make
a
a difference in her
grandfather,
life, that's it.
and now that you're a grandfather, what do you enjoy better, being a father or a granda?
It's not like that. Because my daughters are my world,
Mm.
but I'm reliving their childhood through my
Three
granddaughter.
elements, yeah.
And, you know, my little granddaughter would say, "Horsey, Granda." And I take her around the garden and she thinks I'm a horse, you know, or just sitting watching and singing Old MacDonald 25 times because she
Yeah.
wants Old MacDonald, Old MacDonald. And I'm like, I'm sitting loving it. There's nothing quite like it. You're getting this unconditional love.
Mm.
And then it reminds me of
When they were young.
flashback memories of Farah and Rihanna and us being at Disneyland. And there's nothing like it.
Mm.
There is nothing quite like it.
Yeah. Well, Tom, thank you for coming on again. You're a legend
Yep.
as always.
A legend.
These are two legends.
Inspiring.
Mhm.
But thank you for joining. Like,
Yep.
subscribe,
And
and
make sure
share.
you get on the Dream Mentoring program.
Yep.
Tom has leveled up himself. He's leveled up.
A lot of
There's
people.
all success stories. 99.9%. You said to him, and even as we grandchildren, there's only 2 starting our own business here next week.
Let's go.
But like, subscribe, and share, and join us next week, legends.
Thanks.
Lithium weight going all the way.